Welcome back to another episode of Harmonious at Lunch, the show that fuels your business success. I'm Brandon Gano, your host and guide through the world of harmonious business growth. Today, we're unlocking powerful strategies with industry experts to help your business thrive. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or executive, you are in the right place. Join me and our incredible guest today on the journey to clarity, growth, and success. It is time to revolutionize your approach to business. Let's dive in with another episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Welcome back. We got some more bite-sized business advice for you from the one and only Hold Your Hand and Kick Your Ass business coach. I'm very excited for this conversation to see what that means. And luckily, it's a virtual conversation, so no physical pain for me over here. But before we go any further, we are going to talk about the right way to start and scale your business. I have an amazing guest who I actually know from a past life, it seems like. But Tammy, welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Brandon.
Yeah, so we met on another, I don't even know what that was. It was a god-awful platform, but it brought us together and it got me to know you. So I am actually familiar with your expertise, and I'm very comfortable saying that we have an amazing guest. So I want to dive in, though, and I want to find out what is these two things seem to contradict, right? Hold your hand, that seems very nice, and then kick your ass. Like, I'm a little scared now. How do you help people by holding their hands and kicking their ass at the same time?
Well, and a lot of the time I do have to do it at the same time, because holding your hand, people need the love and the support and the encouragement. But sometimes we just need a good swift kick in the ass to get ourselves to do the stuff we actually need to do. My clients are the ones that called me the Hold Your Hand and Kick Your Ass business coach, because like I said, I love and support them, but I hold their feet to their fire. I make sure that they actually do what they say they're going to do, what they need to do. Otherwise, everything else is a waste of time. And like, you need to love and support them and like get them doing stuff. And that's why they call me the Hold Your Hand and Kick Your Ass business coach.
I like it. And it's good to hear that it comes from your clients too, because that means it's the real deal. But I'm curious, how long ago did you get this title? Because there had to be a period of finding out that you actually needed to kick some asses in business.
Like, oh no, I didn't have to find out I needed to kick ass. That's just my personality. That's the way that it's always been. Like you said, love and support, and no bullshit. I'm very, very direct, and because I'm going, yes, we could do the lovey-dovey the whole time and have it take like 20 times longer than it should, or sometimes we just need to, let's get to the point of the matter and get it done. But my clients sort of gave me that name officially probably about 5-6 years ago. Before that, I have a wonderful client. She just started calling me the crazy blonde because I would push her so far out of her comfort zone. Oh, Tammy, you crazy blonde woman.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, these are good names though, because it sounds like they come with affection, because you actually get results, which I'm over the coaching space personally. I don't consider myself a coach, but everything on Facebook is coaching coaches on how to coach people. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody please just get results for their clients.
It's horror. It's horror. It's one of the things that drives me absolutely insane. And I was just talking to somebody a couple of weeks ago, and she'd signed up with a coach to learn how to be a VA. And the person that she was learning from was a failed VA, hadn't even run a VA business for a year, and decided she didn't like it and wasn't very good at it. So she started up a business coaching other people how to set up VA businesses. And I'm going, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, it's like same with consulting. It's like the failed business owners or the failed whatever who just want to tell people what to do and not do it themselves. Yeah. There's a lot of that in the marketplace. So this whole show is really about cutting through the noise, finding the experts, finding the success stories, and what can you as a listener learn from it. So I'm excited to dive in here, and you help people in a unique section of the market, if you will, that startup to veteran phase, where I personally find that's where the most people get taken advantage of, because everything seems right. Everything seems shiny. We want to trust people. And then we start to get jaded over the years and learn our lessons the hard way. But how do you help people from startup to actually growing their business, a business designed to survive and thrive? What's the process you take people through?
Well, every single business, it doesn't matter if it's a product business, service business, anything about the owner, they all need to have the same basic 8 pieces. If they're missing any of the pieces, things get an awful lot harder and their chances of failing go higher. If they've got those 8 pieces, the chances of success go through the roof. Because most people are failing in the first 2 years, not because there's a problem with the product or service, typically, not because the owner isn't working hard enough. It's the fact that they don't know what they're doing in terms of business. They're technicians that have put out signage and saying, hire me. Like, they technically know their product or service, but they don't understand the financials. They don't understand marketing. They don't understand systems. They don't understand advisory. They don't understand the difference between profit and cash flow. They don't understand any how to structure their day so that they're actually doing stuff that's going to ring the cash register rather than just busy work. Like, are they shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic, or are they patching the hole, or better yet, building a better ship and putting people on it that are not going to hit the iceberg in the first freaking place?
Gee, Tammy, I can't tell where you got your nickname from. It's not coming through. No, that's awesome. And I love it. And I agree with everything you said. And that's kind of what I see as most common people who come from corporate or having a job and they want to start a business. They really just want to get away from a boss. Mm-hmm. And there's a whole different side to running a business that most people don't think of. So I'm curious, with these 8 steps, first of all, how much of that is secret sauce and how much can we unpack on this episode? Can we at least know what those 8 things are?
Okay, so everybody needs to have goals. Everybody needs to have habits. They need to know what they're like. Why are they doing it? Their values, their vision, their missions, and things like that. They have to have marketing. They need to have their advisory team. Because most people are taking their advice from their broke-ass friends and family who have never played in the bloody arena. They need to understand the financials, and that's the number one area where most people are avoiding, and they're missing so much by that. They need to have their systems, and they need to have cash flow and profit. They have all of those pieces. They can build it. And how everybody puts it together is slightly different, but you need to have that foundation. And there's so many people that are really good for like coaching and stuff out there, but they're ologists. They're the specialists. And once you've got your foundation and stuff, okay, well, now I need to go get some more specific help on this area. Great. But if you don't have the foundation first and you go to that specialist, waste of time and effort. Like, I literally have a client that I'm working with, and we're building her business, and she is in a very special course right now all about sales, because I teach foundational pieces, but she needs to get in a lot more deep, and we've hooked her up with a great person that can help her with that now, because she has enough of the basic pieces that she can make use of it.
Yeah, this is the problem I have with the marketplace as a whole, specifically for this side of the industry, the newer businesses, the lower revenue businesses that have just started. Everybody wants to just say, you just need marketing, you just need sales. And I just couldn't disagree more, because like you said, you don't have a foundation. Like, you don't even know if the product that you have or the service that you have is right for the marketplace yet. You're just going to go sell it. Like, it makes no sense to me. So in the 8 things you talked about, how much of that do you start with? Because I mean, for some businesses, they may not be in business, so you wouldn't have a P&L, you wouldn't have cash flow. Yes, you need to understand those, but those are obviously not like always step one. So how do you go about tackling that list?
So how I go through it is I put people through my weekend small business course. It's intense. It's a huge blast. And it's like being hit with a fire hose, and we get them all that information, because everybody has some strengths and everybody has weaknesses, and everybody has huge areas that they don't even know that they need to know about when it comes to running a business. So we get them figuring that out. And then I work with them over the year to put all those pieces together and to keep them moving. Because what I have found through personal experience, through like decades of doing this myself and working with clients, is we go to so many courses, or we start something, and it's amazing. This is going to change my life. This is going to change my business. I can't wait to get back and start putting all these pieces together. And then what happens? Well, we're away from the retreat space or the class is finished for the weekend and it's Monday morning and oh my God, my email inbox is full. The cat just threw up, the dog wants out. I need to get the kid run off for this. I've got all of these fires that have come up with clients and stuff, and they just start getting back into things and nothing changes. And then 6 months later, they're walking by their bookshelf and they see the binder from class and they're going, oh yeah, I remember that. That was amazing. I was going to do so much. So, like I said, there's so many people, they're getting great information. It's not that they're not getting great information in a lot of cases, but do they have the support, the hand-holding, and the butt kicking to deal with life and moving forward and making the changes that they need to do so they can accomplish having a successful and sustainable business, rather than just, oh, well, I tried it and it didn't work and it cost me my life savings and my self-esteem and maybe a relationship.
Yeah, the costs can be devastating and huge, but I'm curious, where do you find that comes from? Because listen, full transparency, I've done it too. Like, I've gone to the events, I've had the ideas, I've notebooks full of information, and they're probably in the garbage somewhere because I just never did anything with it. But where does that come from? And obviously then you have to step in and kick some ass while holding their hand. But is it a lack of like being uncomfortable? Is it a lack of discipline? Is it a lack of an ass kicker as a coach? What holds people back from taking action?
All of the above in different combinations. But the big thing is, like, when we're going, our education system for the last 100+ years has set us up to be employees.
Yes, Tammy.
Show up at the right time. We take our breaks at scheduled times. We do as we're told. We have homework. We have all of this stuff. Stepping into the world of being an entrepreneur, everything changes. We don't have, we set our time. So we can decide what we're working on, or we can decide to procrastinate and doom scroll on Facebook or whatever. Or we get busy doing what we want to do and what we think we need to do. But because, like I said, most people have next to no knowledge about actual business. They know their product or service, that they'll start doing things. They're working hard. It's not that they're putting in the time and the effort, but they're working on the wrong things. And then I have some that are just fortunate enough that they've got enough overall skills that they spend all their time running. They're spinning all the plates. They're spinning all the plates until they literally burn out and everything comes crashing down because they're doing everything and they've got a great product or service, which is a problem because now they have everybody wanting and they want to help all these people, but they're only one person. Or, okay, now I'm not one person. Things are going well enough. I need to bring in help. So what do? They hire a body. And they're not hiring properly and things aren't getting done and everything. They either shut it down because they're exhausted or literally dead in some cases because they work themselves to a coronary, or they can't keep it up and it just comes crashing down. And it is such a waste because business is beautiful and exciting and complicated and simple all at the same time. It can be done. There's very few people that have come to me with an idea that I said, like, hey, let's just go over this. And I don't see how this is going to work. I'm going, I have clients that have done everything and been successful at all sorts of stuff. As long as you care, we can teach you the business skills.
Yeah, that's awesome. I so love this conversation because it is so apparent to me that the problem comes from the employee mindset. Mm-hmm. And in both cases, this is not exclusive to owning a business. Mm-hmm. To being employed by a business, if you have the employee mindset, you too will also fail. You have to have that mindset of focusing on the right things, identifying the right activities. And those are the people that get ahead, both in jobs and in owning their own business. So one of the, I think, biggest issues I see people in this sector of the market is they want to be busy being busy, and that makes them feel productive.
Yep.
So they're just doing activities, whatever, if it's posting on Instagram 5 times a day, or if it's sending 3 emails, whatever it is, they just want to feel busy and they think their business will take care of themselves. Obviously not the case. You have to identify what are those revenue producing activities and what are the things that are actually going to move your business forward. So how do you, it's different for every business. I understand that, but what do you have, like a process you take people through to identify what those activities are? And then how do you shift their mindset to say, nothing else matters? until you have revenue. You do these things first.
Well, there's things that you need to do in order to bring in the revenue, because so my background is financial services. I started my business selling life insurance, which is one of the hardest things in the world to sell because nobody wants that. you want a clear room? Tell people you sell life insurance. They're running for the door. And I started my business because I was fired. I was fired from a job I absolutely hated. It was the best thing that could have ever happened to me because I was already interviewing for other jobs. And if it had been a week later, I would have been handing in my notice and going to a job with a better title and better pay. But called into the office and fired. And in that moment, I'm just going, I never have to work for another creepy, incompetent old man again. I am finally going to go into sales, start my own business like people have been telling me for literally years to do. And I went in with a better understanding than most people because of my background. But I didn't want to be just another life insurance salesperson. The first thing you sign up for anything in financial, you're supposed to put down your list of 100 people, your friends and your family, and you're supposed to start harassing them because they're your easy market to buy whatever you're selling. And I'm going, I do not, that just makes my skin crawl. I do not want to do that. I don't want to have a business like that. And I go, okay, what do I actually want to create? Why did I finally decide to go into sales? Because I was sick and tired of seeing all the stuff crossing my desk that was just wrong. And I'm going, why is it wrong? Because people do not, like, Canadians have the lowest rate of financial literacy in the westernized world. They're trusting people. I'm not saying the people they're trust, but they don't know basically anything about money, how to run a personal finance and stuff. So they got bits and pieces and they're just, okay, whatever's shiny and they're selling it to me. So I took the time to develop a course where people could come and learn about money. And then if they want to work with me and get their investments and their insurance from me, I'm totally there for it. And it didn't bring in a lot of revenue in the first 2 years because, well, number one, like I said, I decided to start my business in the moment of being fired, not beforehand. And I had to figure out all of this stuff. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to just go out and start harassing friends and family. I wanted to build a business I could be proud of. I wanted to actually do good in the world. So I put more time into it and learning how to market in a way that worked for me and my personality and my values. And 2 years after, I don't have to do any marketing. All my clients come into me via referral, which means they phone or email me and ask an appointment and tell, I'm here to do what you tell me to do. And that took time to build the revenues. And I make a lot more money than most people in my industry with a lot less time and effort because I put in the time and effort to build it properly in the first place.
Yeah, that's huge. And that's really what you're talking about with the foundation, because if you do it right, you can, well, I always use that analogy. You can't build a house on dirt, right? It'll collapse eventually. If you build it the right way, it can sustain. It'll last forever. Now, did I hear you correctly? You still have revenue and income from that?
Oh yes, I run my, so I started doing my small business coaching and all that under my other company, and then in 2019 I just split it in two. So I have my personal financial planning company and then KSA Business because I can do the financial stuff in my sleep. It's wonderful. I love my clients, but this is where the fun is. This is what I love doing. And because I started working with so many small business owners that were having troubles, I'm going, they need help with their business. And this is what I'm really good at. So I started helping them with their business because broke people can't afford investments or insurance. So greedy motivated self-interest. And then they started referring their friends and their colleagues and stuff to me because I looked after both and then I've been teaching small business class for 19 years now. And now I've got a retreat coming up in July, and absolutely love the business stuff. And we've been working with people all over the world because business is fun. That's where you can have so much creativity. And if you're bored, you're doing it wrong.
I 100% agree with that. We believe business should be fun. There's no other way to do it. There's no other way to do life. You have to have fun or else it'll kill you. You're going to die either way. So at least have fun, right? That's cool though. I didn't realize that you still had income and revenue from that just because you set it up right. And I think what really blows my mind is I run into so many clients who they'll come to us because their businesses, kind of draining them over the years. And we're talking like 7-8 figure businesses, and they're like, I think I want to sell. I think I want to get out. And I'm like, why? Like, you have a business that could really run itself if you stepped away. They're just a little too involved, and like, it just drains me. I'm like, no, let it run itself, and you can then do whatever you want. You don't have to be involved to run and scale a business. And you did exactly that. So you obviously are one of the good coaches out there who can get results for people. So for you watching, listening, definitely go check out Tammy. I put the website on the screen. It'll also be in the show notes. Tammy, you have this website is an assessment. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so it's what I call the solopreneur self-assessment. So everybody has some strengths, everybody has weaknesses, and everybody has the most important stuff that they don't even know that they don't know. So this is it takes a couple minutes. You can go through and, like I said, where are you strong? Where are you weak? And where are you completely clueless? Because we need to start working on all of those. Build the strengths, shore up the weaknesses, and get aware and get going on the stuff that you don't know about, because it's standard across all businesses.
Having the clarity to see where you are, what you don't know, what you do know, it gives you the confidence to move forward. That's a powerful tool right there. So definitely go check it out. So Tammy, this has been amazing. I have one last question. I'm just curious. When you've worked with hundreds, if not thousands of people over the years, what is the one thing you wish people knew about business before they got into business? Because I'm sure there's a common issue or two that come up before working with you.
You can do it, but you can't do it alone.
I shouldn't even say anything else. We should just end this podcast right here. There's no better advice. So all I'll say is, Tammy, thank you for being here. This episode went way too quick for me, at least. Thanks for coming and shining a light on what you do. This is amazing.
Well, hopefully your listeners get some value out of it.
They definitely will. If you did, put it in the comments wherever you are. Make sure whatever platform you're on, if you're watching, if you're listening, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a minute of this bite-sized business advice. Thanks for listening to Harmonious at Lunch. We will see you on the next episode.